Hey, everybody. It is a beautiful day in Jacksonville, Florida. And today on the Believe Retreat for Women, we're talking about building an engaged audience for your creative work. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Believe Retreat. I am Heidelin. This is Joanna. And woo, there is Francine. How you guys feeling today, huh?
Hey, ladies. This is going to be awesome.
So, Joanna, why don't you tell them all what the Believe Retreat is all about?
This is a place for women to come together and have a safe space to explore their creativity, to ignite their passions for what they really love, and to create. So we have workshops, play shops, and plenty of space for us to explore, to journal, to meditate, to really get in touch with our native creative, the person that we were born to be, curious, playful, and open to just all the possibilities, activating the imagination, developing mindset, and more from the inside out. That's what I say.
I love it when you do the intro.
I love your voice, Joanna. I love your voice.
So before we get started, I don't know, a million billion things could have happened today that kind of stressed you out. And so before we even talk about solutions to things that possibly stress you out, let's just chill for a second. And so we do that with using this cool thing called a fractal. Come on, screen, change. Okay, there it is. This is a fractal. And all we're going to do for the next 2 minutes, and normally, if you're doing this by yourself, you do this silently, but we're doing this live. So we're going to have our own sports commentary on the fractal. But take a deep breath right now. Just hold it in for a second and breathe out. And take another nice big breath. And breathe out. And now I want you to look at this image. And I want you to look at how all the lines are like this certain almost pattern distance from each other. And the longer you stare at it, there's other things that you might notice. You might notice gradient of color or other recurring patterns. So I'm just going to give everybody a couple seconds. And Joanna and Francine, when you notice something that you want to bring to everybody's attention, go right ahead.
For me, the swirling effect with the light in the center, it draws me in like a vortex. I want to head toward the light. And that energy, that round and round spiraling, it feels like it's live, and that it's a portal that I can go, so I can get lost in this imagery, focus on the light, and just be drawn in, forgetting everything around me right now.
I agree with that completely. I feel like if I could stare at the center long enough, as my eye focuses, I feel like I can see more of the swirl, and I feel like the cone gets longer and longer than what it was when I first looked at it.
Oh yeah, deeper.
Yes, deeper. What about you, Francine?
I'm trying to mute all the noise behind me right now. I really need this relaxation because my dogs just ran through my office barking and growling and fighting. And what I am looking at is that outer, the purple and the black, is just really calming.
Mm, I agree. And I like how it fades to black, where like it's that really like deep purple, like black light purple, but then there's that blending of black before it goes back to the next purple line. But I also noticed the little bits of highlight on the top of each line as it comes in, and it really creates so much more depth.
Yeah, like the rim. There's a rim of light. And I like the indigo, the dark indigo blue, see on the left side too. That contrast, it's very intriguing, that choice of color. The light and the dark in this, very uh, yeah, very intriguing.
All right, all right. You know what? That is excellent. What we just did there with that fractal exercise. Um, we just interrupted like all of whatever that craziness was going on for just a little bit. And Francine was even distracted. She was like, dogs, oh my gosh, in the middle of that exercise, but she like pulled her attention back. And you know what? That is the best you can ask for because our minds are like, little hyper children. They're like, let's over here, squirrel, over here. And so when you can practice this, just looking at an image and paying attention to all the little details that you can find, it really will help you calm your mind and be able to look at any problem or situation from a much better perspective. So that is the fractal exercise. Are you guys ready for the main discussion today?
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely. And
Francine.
I love
Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say, Joanna?
I just want I want to thank anyone who's viewing this for taking a moment to just consider that fractal and the power in being fully present and just focusing on something for a couple of minutes, how that alters our energy and is prepared. How we have a discussion that's energized and authentic and encapsulate where we are now. And we're already on a higher level than when we started. I love the fractal part, Heidi. That's Heidi's idea, everyone.
Yay.
Yes. All right.
And we're
So,
going to
what
do
are we
it.
talking about?
Today we're talking about preventing burnout. Or no, I'm on the wrong day. I'm on the wrong day. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about building an engaged audience for your creative work. Because, I mean, it is pretty fun to sit at home and create things and make more things and more things. But eventually, you kind of want to show it off to somebody. And, your significant other or your best friends, they might be over it by now. Who knows? But there are like all these people out there that are super, super excited about what it is that you're creating. And that is a cute dog. Oh my goodness.
I decided to bring her in. She wouldn't leave me alone.
She just wanted to be with her mama.
Stormy,
That's
get
all.
over here. You have a rival. That's all.
Okay,
I don't have pets, but I have grandbabies.
So,
okay, you two go.
Our ideal audience.
Grandbabies are kind of like pets, right?
I've always, even my kids were little, they didn't have pets. I'm like, why do I need pets? I have 3 kids.
Those are my children. I don't have any human children. Those are my children.
Fur babies rock.
That's right.
They run America.
So we're talking about finding our ideal audience.
There we go.
All right. Focus. See, we're all over the place sometimes too.
I,
And
I don't know why they never fight in my office. And it's just plain. They're not really trying to kill each other. I don't know why they chose my office today, but that's
Attention.
okay. I got to share my cute little baby with everybody. And now
And that's
let's
what
talk
kids
about
do.
our ideal audience are people who are going through exactly what I just went through. You're trying to get some work done and the kids run in, or you're trying to get some work done and the husband making a drink in the kitchen, making all kinds of rude noises, or you're trying to get some work done and the computer falls off the table like Heidi's did last week. But we got it done anyways because our ideal audience is going to learn how to get refocused after the focus is lost. And we're going to do that with some meditation. We're going to do that with what I call the Sparkle Feathers method of vision boarding. It's something nobody else has ever done it because it's only
That
up here
sounds
right now.
interesting. I can't wait for that.
yeah. Are there real feathers going to be involved with this?
Why, yes, there will be feathers for the vision board if you want, because I mean, what would sparkle feathers be without feathers? I have my feathers
Feathers
and
and some sparkles to put on the
and
feathers.
butterflies and butterflies.
We didn't even plan this, people. So she literally just has a pile of feather and butterflies right there at her desk. Okay.
It's a preview. It's a sneak preview of what's to come when we get
That's
together
right.
live at this retreat. We should plug it every moment we have.
So, Joanna, what about you? Like, who do you think are the people that are most attracted to your art?
I would say folks who are they're working, and they're taking care of family and even doing things in the community. And there's something missing. One of the missing pieces of their life is the creative expression that they enjoyed when they were younger, more carefree, with less responsibility. So my target audience are people who used to be active with singing, dancing, playing an instrument, writing, acting, whatever it was, creating, fashion, let's say, puppet shows. And then they sort of got out of it because life got in the way. And at the same time, in a similar category are individuals who never really did get a chance to be involved with creative arts. There are visual arts, literary arts, and performing arts. Maybe they didn't get to do any of them, but it's missing in their life because they know that inside they have this desire. But when you get to a certain age, they don't have summer camp for 50-year-olds. We don't have a lot of constructs. We have community theater, karaoke, but not the type of thing that we're offering, not the type of intimate connection of really helping this person open up and unlock what's inside them and help them have a plan to pursue those desires of the heart. So that's my audience. They're busy and they're working, and they either haven't been active with their heart's passion or never got launched. Guess what? Come with me. I'm going to help you make.
I was just
Francine had
thinking
an
how much
idea.
like
What were you going to
our
say, Francine? I
event.
saw you reacting.
I did. The best word for it is immersion therapy. We're going to immerse you into creativity to get those juices flowing.
Or summer camp for adults is what I
like
heard
that
Joanna
too.
say. And I was like, yes, we're adults, so we can only do it in one weekend and like get away with that. So like, yes, this is our summer camp.
And hey,
So
that's what a
my
retreat, right? A retreat. I'm sorry. Don't people usually
exactly,
associate a retreat sort of with camping,
I
glamping?
do. Oh yeah, it could be fancy. It could be,
Oh,
like the fancy hotel or like the well, let's not say like a camp at a tent, but like maybe some cabins. That'd be good.
I think we could call this glamping at the Embassy Suite.
Embassy suites.
Yes, yes. So I would say that the people that are going to enjoy my music the most, if we're talking about my music in particular, first of all, you kind of have to have a little bit of a taste for metal music.
Yay.
And so if you don't have a taste for metal, you might not like it. However, if you've been kind of dabbling in metal a little bit and you're like, oh, well, I like it when they sing and they don't just scream everything. You're like, ooh, like maybe I could get into that kind of metal, then you could possibly like my music. And the other thing about my music, I call it doom inspirational, because the genre of metal is doom, or stoner metal is another one that it would fall under. But it's very inspirational. I like to take some of the deepest, darkest times of my life and show how there's that glimmer of hope, because when I was a teenager and I was consuming music like crazy and it was really like my life support system, those musical artists that I was listening to were kind of giving me the life advice that I didn't understand then that I was getting. And sometimes it was really positive and sometimes it was really negative. But the bottom line is it helped me get through some really, really tough times. And so what I wanted to do with my music is doomy as it is. You might be in a very dark, doomy type spot and you're not going to reach out to anybody and you're not going to talk to anybody and you're not looking for any kind of help, but you really kind of wish somebody would come help. And so that's the kind of songs that I like to create for people. So once you define who your people are, don't you guys think it would be easier to find them? What do you think, Francine?
Well, I think that when you know what you're doing and you convey it properly, that the right people will find you. For
Yeah,
instance,
like an attraction.
yeah, like an attraction with
Yeah.
my children's books. I go out dressed up as the main character and I tell the story and I wear the crazy, tail that gets all kinds of attention. And then people want to know what I'm doing. And because I'm always smiling and I'm always sparkling and I'm always telling stories, people in general want to be around me. Now, the the little bit I'm missing though is I need them to want to buy the books. They want they like to be around me and they like to hear the stories. But the more I tell them and the more I'm just happy and being myself, the more that people who enjoy what I have to offer are attracted to me. And how I wasn't always this way. When I first started in business, I was angry, I was depressed, I was blaming the world for everything that I thought was wrong in my life. It was when I decided to stop blaming the world, own it, get over it, and trust that the universe would give me what I needed. That's when good things started to happen for me. And it took finding my inner child, reigniting my creativity, and having a big vision for the future. And in this retreat, we are going to do those three things to help you figure out what it is you want to convey to the rest of the world.
I love
And I
that.
think too,
Friends,
it's
oh,
important
go ahead.
to recognize that when you're building an audience that is going to buy your art, is that there's going to be a bunch of people that don't like it. And that's also okay. Not to like spend your time and energy on that group of people and try to keep forcing the issue, but really identify the ones that are like post or commenting on your posts or replying to your emails or coming to your events and talking to you and engaging with you. Those are the people where your energy should be spent and will really help you grow more engagement because of everything that you've been talking about, Francine. That's awesome.
I was going to say that I would sum up what Francine's saying as show up and shine. If you show
Exactly.
up, you're yourself, you're sharing your light, the right people are going to be interested in you and learning more about you. And even with the books, I've learned, like in sales training, really, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Just like you can't really say the right thing to the wrong person. It's really about who's in front of you and how they're responding to who you are. And to move books, maybe you would package the books in with other types of offering as an extra, sort of an add-on, sort of the way that Congress gets things passed. They tuck it into a big fat bill that's, how many pages is it? And they slip in these provisions, and then people wonder, what does that have to do with the name of the bill was supposed to be about? Don't worry about that. We stuck it in there so we can get something done. I'm just saying, you sort of put that book in there, see, in another context, and then it's a bonus. Well, isn't this delightful? I've got a wonderful book. It lit me up, and I know a lovely young person that would love this too, and they can pass it on. Just a tip. That's an idea.
It's a good
Bundle.
idea. And this is
Wrap
the
it up.
beauty. This is the beauty of getting creative minds together is we all feed off of each other's energy. And oh, I just got the chills. That means my spirit guides are patting me on the back saying that when we come together and combine our energies, magic will happen.
I think that is a great way to wrap up this segment because we've got to get wrapping for all the other stuff that we've got to tell you about before this episode is over. The thing is, there's more to talk about on this topic. So there's been a little QR code. It might not be in that corner if we're backwards, but it's in the corner. It says Believe Community. You can scan that. It's going to take you to our community page where you can watch the replay of this episode. And we are posting about 3 questions per week. So you can participate in these questions and get some other ideas around this topic. And with that, we need to have a special Believe retreat. Special break.
I'm Francine.
I'm Heidi.
Hey, I'm Joanna, and together
We're the Believe Sisters.
inviting you to join us at the Embassy Suites in Jacksonville, January 31st through February 2nd. We're going to turn your burnout to burning desire and celebrate creativity for ladies only. Because if you can conceive it,
You can believe it.
You can achieve it.
and so from the head,
To the heart.
To the hands.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay,
That
so
never gets
this
old.
is no, it's and thank God because we might see it a lot. And anyway, I want to do our sponsor shout out, and right now it's Lorna Edwards at the Asbury Art Center. I want to talk about this because she is going to be doing a pop-up event at her studio. Date is not set yet, but it is going to be before the end of the year. Want to do a teaser on that. And speaking of events, next week on November 12th, I have a special event that if you're going to be at the Believe Retreat, this is a great one to get you prepared for it because you're going to take your saboteur assessment. You're going to learn how you're going to be able to use that. And then when you come to the Believe Retreat and you go through my workshop, we're going to really dig in much deeper on each of these saboteurs. So you're going to be able to call them out whenever they come up and try and ruin whatever your plans are. They're like evil masterminds, my own worst enemy. So you get to find out more about that at my event that looks a little bit like this.
Hey there. If you're in the music industry, you know the holiday season hits differently for us. Between last minute gigs, family expectations, and the pressure of hitting the deadlines before the end of the year, it can leave you feeling drained instead of refreshed. I'm Heidi, aka Heidelin, and I'd love to invite you to my workshop, Find the Gift in Every Opportunity, on November 12th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This session is all about quick, practical ways to bounce back from holiday stress. We'll cover a topic I wish I knew more about when I was a teen, rather than struggling through unnecessary stress into my 30s. Then I'll show you a process to use it in your own life so you can practice it before the battle of the holiday season begins. If you're tired of starting out the new year feeling burnt out, this workshop's for you. Join me and let's make this season one of joy and renewal.
Whoa, that was an awesome commercial.
Oh, well, thank you. And if you want to have an awesome commercial right here and have us promote one of your events, think about sponsoring the Believe Retreat. So we've got a bunch of different packages, and getting a little shout out on this episode every week is part of that. You also can have a table at the event. You can get 2 tickets to the event, and you can also get extra pages in our very special workbook that we're going to be making so that when you leave the retreat, you have a plan for when all those distractions we were talking about earlier in the episode start pouring in. You know exactly what you're going to do to bounce back and get back on track. The other cool thing about the sponsorship packages is you can become an affiliate, and without being a sponsor, you can also become an affiliate, which we're calling hostesses, because let's just face it, if you're going to go on a creative retreat, it would be way more fun if you went with some of your girlfriends. So if you're planning on bringing a girlfriend anyway, reach out to us about becoming a hostess and learn how you can save some money on your ticket when you invite more friends. And you know what, if you're friends and it's summer camp anyway, like you can just share a room and there, boom, you save some more money. I'm brilliant.
We're trying to make this easy for you ladies. The easier, the better, because it's an experience you don't want to miss. There's so many ways that you can save and still be immersed in your creativity with us.
So if you're watching the replay, you can just pause that, scan any of those QR codes. You're going to find out more information about any of those. I didn't see any questions in our chat for today, so I think the question and answer part, you know what I'm forgetting? There's an event this Friday. Francine, do you want to talk a little bit more about that this Friday that came up to my radar moments before we went live, and I'll see what I can do about finding info?
This Friday at 5 p.m. in Fleming Island, Live by the Axe is hosting an event, and I'm going to be a vendor there as Princess Francie, And we're also going to have information about the Believe retreat there. And our friend Eugenia is going to be selling official Sparkle Feathers gear. He's another character in my book. This event Friday is going to be to raise money for some really special kids who are terminal or just have a lifelong disease. And it's going to help them get their wish. It's not Make-A-Wish, it's a little bit like it, but all the money raised at this event will stay in our community. So please come out and see us, see all the other vendors. There's going to be a raffle and all kinds of other fun. And I think there might be a photo booth there where you could get your selfies on.
Live by the axe. Cool.
I just-
Lemon Island.
And you could throw some axes at the wall.
That is the part that I'm looking forward to. I've got some frustrations. I think that I just,
And I won an axe.
So
I won an axe as a door prize. And I was told that it's not even an official axe until you throw it. So come to Live by the Axe Friday at 5 and watch me make a fool of myself throwing the axe.
So what time does that start again?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock this Friday. Live by the Axe. That's
Lemming
awesome.
Island on Roosevelt.
And then online next week on Tuesday is my event for less stress, more joy. And I think that's enough to blow their brains up for events for 1 week. But keep tuning in here every week, every Tuesday. Join our community. Check out our community. Hold on. I feel like I have a screen for that. Yes. This is our flyer for the January retreat, for our weekly live streams. They're every Tuesday at 4:30, and then online in the community. And next week, we're going to be talking about managing stress and anxiety.
Ooh, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about.
It's going to warm you right up for my event next week. So that's going to be awesome.
Tuesday's going to be a terrific Tuesday. Powerful day.
That's right. Okay. So now we're at the close, lady. So Joanna, do you want to get us started? Take us out.
Yes, ladies. Just remember, from the head
To the heart.
To the hands.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
can.
can. We did it.